Hello, my name is Harvey and welcome to my shop. In today's video, I'm going to be going over everything I've done since the last video that I put out, which has been a little bit. Life tends to happen, get busy with work and everything. I've been working on this a little bit each night as I get off of work. As you can see, a lot more has happened. I've got the dead man here. It's in place. I just finished this up tonight. This is my latest thing. But before that, I did get the tool till put together. I'll show you some more details and bring you in closer so you can see more of it here in a little bit. But I pretty much have, right now I have all my hand tools that I have right now are in the till. This thing's evolving. There's a lot of different, I've got more chisel racks I've got to put in. I've got another type saw till I've got to put in over here, and there's some changes that I plan on making, and I'll go a little bit more in detail of how things kind of evolved, where they're at, and where we're going from here. So I'm trying to pan this out a little bit so you can see the whole thing a little bit up close, but this is the dead man, and I found a nice piece of black walnut when I went back to my hardwood supplier. I actually found this along with some nice straight grain that I'm using for all the little fixtures up there. You can see that are black walnut. But this here, I'll slide it down. It slides the entire length. As you can tell, it needs grease. That track needs greased up a little bit, but it does work. I'm gonna pan out here a little bit so you can see the whole bottom. This thing's got a little detail to it. Holes are kind of at a slight skew there, but I do have it so I have basically 1-inch increments there. Just don't have my pin for it yet, but I'm gonna pull this back so you can see it a little bit better. It's going to be a little bit noisy. That's just the nature of this thing, but it does slide all the way down. Now, if you look down there, original plan was to use that bottom track and put another T-bolt in there. But when I did that, I found that it was binding up, and I was having a hard time for it to move along track. But as I'll show you a little bit later, I got plenty of reinforcement up front. And what I ended up with, I just put a block there to keep it spaced out because this thing wanted to tilt into there. So I put a block to space it so everything stayed nice and flush. But as I pull this out, it's got the T-bolts in there, just like that. And as you can see here, I glued this piece on, and then I drilled through and put these little screw bolts in here. So this thing can hold a lot of weight just with this piece here. It glue set up real good, had a lot of glue on there. There is no other fasteners holding this on, but I didn't want there to be any either. But these go all the way through, and they'll hold a lot of weight. Down here, I'm gonna bring this over like this. But down here, you can see that I put that block in there. Originally had the other piece on there. I did put some brass screws in there to kind of hold that on because the first time I did it, that was just too much leverage. And I think when I was pounding that little brass piece in the bottom, or that little T-bolt thing in the bottom, it broke it off originally. So I had to re-glue it. But, it's easy enough to get this thing on and off. Only thing I don't like is I gotta figure out a way to keep those things straight and maybe grease them up a little bit so they don't make so much stinking noise. But one thing, if you'll notice, I did put a nice little chamfer on here and all the way around both sides, and each one of the holes are chamfered as well. So I took time and did that, and it's got a little detail at the bottom that gives it a little interest without being too crazy. Now, as I move around here, you're gonna see I put, since I've picked up a few more tools, always find an excuse to get 2 new tools. Got one of the Japanese saws, really liked it, so I ended up getting the other. My last one I acquired was the one on the right there. That one, so that I've got some down here. I've got, I think it's, matter of fact, where the screw boxes are there. I'm going to be doing a little black walnut insert to go in there, and I need to cut my black walnut down to quarter inch wide pieces. I don't have a bandsaw, so I bought that specifically for that. So I really like the Japanese saws. They're really easy to use and they're very comfortable. A little bit more natural, it seems like, than the traditional type of saw. I still like those and have purpose for those saws, but don't get me wrong. Also picked up a little frets, little scroll saw, jigsaw, whatever you want to call it, back. You sit hanging on back there. That's actually a Rob Cosman saw. Really like it. I know I've been getting emails saying, please take and rate us on that. One thing about getting something from Rob Cosman, he will personally call you and talk to you. And I had a nice little conversation with him the other when I ordered that, and I really enjoyed the time. But I've gotten a few of those emails that wants me to rate it, the tool and everything, and I haven't got around to that yet. I'll probably get quite a few more before I actually do it. I don't tend to do those type of things, but it's not because I don't like the product or whatever, because I really do. Also got Sean shim too. I'll show that to you in a little bit later. I haven't actually used that yet. I did do some dovetails, but I didn't use that specifically on that. As you can see, I am using brass screws to screw everything on because everything inside this is modular. I have every one of my hand tools I have out in here at this point. I even have my number 5 up there on top because I've got a few in my layout. I've got a few planes to put in there before I get to the number 5. Coming from the left over there, I got my 8, and I've got a 7 and a 6 I need to get in. Sad thing is I love lie-nielsen tools, but the thing I don't like about them is, or it's not that I don't like the tools, I love the tools. They're some of the best tools I've ever used. But the thing I don't like is on their website, they'll give you a length, they'll tell you how much it weighs, they'll tell you what the width of the blade is, but they don't tell you is what the actual width is across there, so you can prep for, like, building your till or whatever. And you can't just go off, well, this plane is this way, this, because each one's just a little bit different. So I'm going to kind of wait on that. But I've been using the black walnut for all my inlay work. I did end up getting, from my original plan here, I'm going to come in close here. As you can see, I picked up the Sean shim, which I plan to use, and I also picked up Rob Cosman's little marking knife and everything. This is really nice. I mean, it is cast. I'm assuming it's cast aluminum, but it is solid and heavy. And this blade here is the same width as my lie-nielsen. So I've got this up in here. Originally on my plan, I have my tongue and groove, which one goes on one side, one goes on the other. But I found that there was a ridiculous amount of wasted space up here. So I kind of adjusted fire, and I took and put dividers in here because I'm going to put 2 little drawers in here. So, and where my number 1, number 2 sitting, they're going to go up on the board, but for right now I got them sitting here. As I do have my screwdriver sitting here, I'm going to have a little holder for that as well. But my other tongue, the 1/2-inch tongue and groove plane's going to go in here. But I'm going to have 2 drawers here, and then there's going to be a drawer that goes in here as well. And then here, when I talked about that saw, specifically, I'm putting in my, I've got plans for the large, medium, and the small shoulder planes going in here. But I'm gonna have a little walnut box that's there, and then have 2 walnut dividers that the whole thing slides in there to kind of give it a little, you know, keep everything separated, but you know, have a little decor going on here as well. Of course, right here, this is where I plan for my block planes to go, and there, I believe, I have 2 other planes going in here, and the scrub plane is supposed to go in here. Again, things change a little bit. I did end up with my router plane in here, along with the fence for that. This right here is supposed to be, I won't plan on having getting a Veritas plow plane. This is where it was supposed to go, and I still may put that here, but again, things change a little bit. I may find another place for it and actually put, you know, use this for something else. That's a pretty large space for that plane, but right now all my bits are going in here. This is supposed to be a plow plane, Veritas plow plane. It goes in here. This is where this 140 goes. That's where I plan. I also plan to build a drawer here, and this is to put all the blades in for all the different, you know, spare blades and stuff. And again, over here, eventually wanted to get a combination plane, a Veritas version, and put in there. Again, that may be a little bit large. I may do something with make an insert that goes in there so I can make better use of the space. And speaking of that, down here on this here, my sawtill, I got looking at it, and over here on this side, I'm planning, the reason why this is so tall is so I can put a full or regular, you know, rip saw and a crosscut saw in there, and then have room for a tenon saw, my dovetail saw, and the carcass saw as well. But that leaves this space here that I can also do another little box drawer insert for here, put in here. I'm put a lot of time and effort in this, so I don't want to be wasting any of the space. And there's plenty of tools I can get to put in there. But just to kind of give you some idea of some of the construction on this, the back of this thing is 1/2-inch plywood, as well as this piece here. But I also made this piece of real estate inside here I hadn't originally planned on, but I needed a place to put my 9899, so I built this little bracket which has a little thinner piece I glued on here on the front and the 2 sides to basically act as a lip to keep those from falling off. But so I did those, and right, you know, everything you see here, I basically did. I did rabbits on pretty much everything. Where I didn't do rabbits at, I put a rabbit here, and when I get back down on the left side of this thing, you'll see where I changed it up. But one thing I did do on the carcass is the carcass does have dovetails. Now, I'm pretty pleased with them, to be honest with you. I haven't done dovetails since I was in high school, so it actually turned out pretty good. I did have to play with it a little bit, but they were pretty tight, and they came out pretty good. All right, I'm gonna get turned around here, and as you can see, there's dovetails there. Oh, something else here, dovetail here. All right, now I did put a through tin in here on these 2. Now this is where it didn't quite turn out like there's got kind of sloppy here. And on this piece here, I put the through tins. I had to fill it in a little bit. That's not so bad because I'm probably going to build something to go over here made for all my screwdrivers and stuff, and use this end for screwdriver storage. You know, I got plans for a lot of chisels and stuff I want to get, and I need all that space only. And I want to get some Laguerre wraps. I may hang those on the outside too. But over here, I've been thinking about it, and I'm thinking I'm gonna build a charging station and for my battery and all these little Milwaukee impact and drill that I've got. Put them out here as well. I did when I was over there. When I was at my hardwood supplier, I came across some real nice beech, so I'm probably going to build that out of beech. I've got enough of that, and I'm probably going to use the beech to build that, and that'll be a different little video coming up. But I'm going to come right back over here, and just something else I want to touch on since the last time we were here. I mentioned a couple times about putting in a ratio irrigation controller, and that's that little bad boy. That thing, basically I got an app on my phone, and there's no dials or anything on that, and it runs off my phone. So I finished that up as well. But after actually using this for a little bit, originally over in where the wood's at, I was thinking about putting a bunch of cabinets and everything just similar to this here and using that for that. But I think since they always say you need drawers, you need drawers, you need drawers. But these drawers here, with all my tools and everything up there, I've got very little in them as of right now. That's not saying it won't change, but it may be sufficient for a good long while. Especially, I take and build that little thing over there for the batteries and the charging. I'll probably throw some other stuff in there. I also plan on, you notice I got all my clamps. Picked up some more clamps too. Had to buy some to put that tool together. But it's time also to start thinking about clamp storage and building something for that. So that'll come into play too. But the more I mess around in this shop and the more I use it, the more I'm beginning to get an idea of what I want to do and what some of my original ideas are going to go by the wayside. And I'm going to make some changes. But that's the whole thing about a shop. It grows as you build stuff and you collect tools and stuff. And some ideas prove to be valid, prove to be useful. But other ones, it's like, the more you go along, the more you think about it, it's like, nah, I think I may change this. I'll definitely change that. And that's what's happening here. So for today, I think that's going to be enough. This video is already longer than I originally intended, but I hope this kind of gave you something to look at, and hopefully you'll be back for more videos in the future. So until next time, stay safe.